The person who never openly challenges you but is always sizing you up. Not every rivalry is loud or hostile. Sometimes it's a silent contest, a game played in shadows. This person watches your wins with a smile, asks questions that seem innocent, and appears supportive, but beneath it all, they're benchmarking your every move. They don't openly clash. Instead, they subtly mimic your style, replicate your ideas, and wait for the moment to outshine you, often by using your own strategies against you. Imagine a colleague who praises your success, but in meetings, rephrases your ideas and claims the credit. Or someone in your close circle who's always there just to help, but their presence feels less about support and more like positioning. How do you protect yourself? Be unpredictable. Keep your plans close to your chest. Speak less about your goals and more about your actions. When your moves are a mystery, the competitor loses their advantage because they can't prepare for a game they don't understand. The best defense here is to stay silent, move strategically, and never fall into the trap of competing on their terms. The emotional puppeteer, the one who controls you with feelings rather than facts. They don't raise their voice or make demands. They weaponize silence, sorrow, or subtle disappointment. Before you realize it, you're apologizing for feelings that aren't your fault, bending to expectations you didn't agree to, just to avoid causing pain or conflict. You say no to a request and suddenly, their face clouds with hurt. You ask for space, and their quiet withdrawal feels like a punishment. You try to set boundaries, but the emotional weight becomes a cage. How to reclaim your clarity? Recognize when emotions are being used as tools for control. Guilt is not proof of wrongdoing. Respond with calmness, not confusion. Set your limits once, clearly and firmly, and avoid over-explaining. Your peace depends on separating your responsibility from someone else's emotional manipulation. The praise predator, the person who cuts deeper with compliments than insults ever could. This kind of person uses flattery as camouflage. They say things that sound supportive but leave you questioning your worth. They build you up just enough to make their subtle digs more painful. Think of a coworker who tells you, "Wow, you really surprised me," which is less praise and more a reminder that you were underestimated. Or a partner who admires your sensitivity but questions your ambition, planting doubt in your drive. How do you shield yourself? Pay attention to patterns, not isolated words. If praise often leaves you doubting yourself, it's a sign you're being managed, not uplifted. Anchor your confidence in your own efforts, not in someone else's approval. Let your results speak louder than their words, and learn to let criticism wrapped in compliments roll off your back. The chameleon, the master of disguise, who becomes whatever you need until they don't. This person mirrors your beliefs, echoes your values, and seems to share your dreams, but it's all a performance designed to gain trust and closeness. At first, it feels like you've found a soulmate or a perfect ally. But watch closely. When things get difficult or when you set a boundary, the mask slips. They vanish, turn against you, or reveal they never truly aligned with you, only with the idea of you. In relationships, this looks like someone who admires your drive but slowly tries to reshape you into their version of what you should be. Your safeguard: don't bond only over shared opinions. Observe behavior in moments of resistance and disagreement. Consistency over time is the real test of loyalty. People reveal themselves not when life is easy but when it's tough. Let go of the illusion of perfect alignment and look for genuine patterns. The perpetual victim, the person who never takes ownership and always casts themselves as wronged. They're masters of blame, shifting, and emotional theatrics. Conflict seems to follow them, yet when you point it out, they flip the narrative and make you the problem. They cry about the unfair world and expect your sympathy, while quietly stoking the drama they claim to suffer from. This type is exhausting because no matter how much you help or understand, the cycle never ends. They never grow, never change. How to protect your peace? Stop buying into the story. Refuse to carry guilt that isn't yours. Focus on facts and patterns, not emotional performances. Their tears are not always innocent, and your pity should never become your prison. You cannot fix someone who refuses to take responsibility. The ambition assassin, the person who kills your drive with concern. They don't shout or forbid, they quietly sow doubt. Are you sure you want to do that? It sounds risky. They frame hesitation as care, but it's really a way to keep you small and safe inside their comfort zone. In your friend circle, this person smiles while planting seeds of second guessing. In love, they caution you about risks, but what they fear is your growth, not your failure. Your strategy: don't react with defensiveness. Filter their words carefully. Ask, is this coming from wisdom or fear? Only accept guidance from those who've walked the path you want to take. Remember, delaying your progress to avoid others' discomfort is surrendering your power. The big picture: here's the truth. The greatest threats to your life, your dreams, and your peace often wear the mask of support and love. They don't confront you with weapons, they chip away quietly with guilt, doubt, flattery, and manipulation disguised as care. They don't stop you by force, they stop you with hesitation and confusion. They reward your silence and punish your strength. But now, you see through the veil. You understand the games, the masks, and the silent battles. Your circle is no longer accidental, it's intentional. You guard your time and energy fiercely. Your path doesn't need others' approval, it only needs your clarity and commitment. True power doesn't come from being liked or understood. It comes from choosing carefully who gets access to your mind, your heart, and your future. If someone shrinks you while pretending to cheer you on, cut them off. If someone drains your vision disguised as love, protect your mission. If someone guilts, your strength grows stronger in silence. You were never meant to be managed. You were built to lead, to see clearly, to walk through fire without losing yourself in the smoke. When you reclaim your energy from those who never deserved it, you don't just feel powerful, you become untouchable. Let's dive deeper into these types of people, because understanding them isn't just about protection, it's about empowerment, growth, and wisdom. These hidden dynamics shape our lives more than we realize. Every relationship, every interaction, can either nourish or diminish the essence of who we are. The difference lies in our ability to perceive subtle signals and patterns before damage occurs. The quiet competitor is not just a coworker or acquaintance. This is the person whose success feels like a zero-sum game. Their smile is a mask hiding ambition that can cut through your confidence. Their presence forces you to sharpen your own strategy, to become invisible when necessary, and to prioritize mystery over openness. Silence isn't weakness here, it's armor. When you stay unreadable, you stop being a target. People cannot attack what they cannot understand. You begin to operate in a zone where your moves aren't just unpredictable, they're untouchable. This is the first lesson. Power lives in mystery. The world rewards those who don't reveal their entire hand too soon. This doesn't mean deception for harm, but discretion as protection. When you keep your next move close, you protect your peace and preserve your advantage. The quiet competitor is always hunting for weakness. Don't give them one. Moving on, the emotional puppeteer operates in a different realm, one that attacks through the heart and mind instead of through direct confrontation. Their battlefield is emotional, a silent war where guilt and sorrow become weapons more potent than anger or rage. The challenge with this type is that the attack feels like love or concern. When someone's pain or disappointment seems to hang in the air like a heavy fog, it's easy to feel responsible, to soften your boundaries. But emotional manipulation is a trap, and its power comes from confusion. The more you justify and explain yourself, the deeper you fall into their web. Your clarity becomes their enemy because it breaks their hold. The moment you recognize that pain or guilt is being used to control you, you reclaim your freedom. Setting a firm, calm boundary isn't cruelty, it's self-respect. The emotional puppeteer thrives on blurry lines and unsettled minds. So sharpen your edges and learn to distinguish between genuine care and subtle control. Next, we meet the praise predator, whose words feel like a warm breeze but hide sharp thorns. Flattery is a classic tool of manipulation. It disarms your defenses, lulls your self-awareness, and then quietly erodes your confidence from within. This person's compliments carry strings that tug you into proving yourself again and again, not for your own sake but to maintain their approval. Watch their language closely. If their praise always leaves you doubting your value or compels you to work harder just to meet their expectations, they're managing you, not motivating you. Real support uplifts without strings. Real allies celebrate your growth without demanding performance. Protect your worth by anchoring it in your actions, in your own results, not in anyone's approval. The wind can whisper, but it cannot uproot a deeply planted tree. Then there's the chameleon, a shape shifter who reflects your desires and beliefs back to you so perfectly, it's almost intoxicating. This type is seductive because they feel like understanding and alignment incarnate, but it's a mirage, an illusion crafted for proximity and advantage. Their true nature only reveals itself when you no longer serve their purpose. This person doesn't bond over shared beliefs, they bond over shared benefits. The real test of any relationship is resistance. When you say no, when you challenge the dynamic, when your authenticity shines even if it disrupts the connection. Genuine people stay, actors flee or turn hostile. To protect your peace, trust patterns over chemistry. Emotions can mislead, but consistent behavior reveals truth. This lesson is vital because many of us confuse initial harmony for genuine compatibility. The mask always falls in time. The question is whether you notice before it's too late. The perpetual victim is a study in avoidance disguised as suffering. Their narrative is always the same: the world is unfair, people are against them, and they are forever misunderstood. But beneath this is a refusal to take responsibility. This refusal breeds a cycle of conflict and blame, a toxic loop where growth is impossible because the mirror is always held up to others, never to themselves. Engaging with this type can drain your spirit because no matter what you give, it never satisfies their need to cast blame outward. The true power lies in refusal, not to engage in their drama, not to carry their guilt, and not to accept responsibility for their choices. This is difficult because compassion often traps us, but compassion must be balanced with wisdom. In contrast, the ambition assassin hides behind concern. They aren't overt enemies, but subtle saboteurs of your dreams. Their questions sound caring but plant doubt that makes you question your path, your readiness, your worthiness. They slow your momentum not by stopping you outright, but by sowing hesitation. This type is dangerous because their influence feels safe. You want to hear their advice because it sounds like love or wisdom. But if their words don't push you forward, if they make you shrink instead of grow, you've found sabotage dressed as care. The antidote here is clear: filter advice ruthlessly. Only accept guidance from those who have achieved what you're striving for. Let the rest be background noise. Your vision deserves fierce protection, not timid caution. Now that we've explored these 6 types, there's a deeper truth underpinning all of them. The greatest threat to your life and progress often comes from within your own circle. It's easier to spot an enemy at war than a wolf in sheep's clothing. These people don't disrupt with explosions. They erode your foundation quietly. Their weapons are whispers, doubts, and disguised intentions. Recognizing this changes how you approach relationships, ambition, and peace. Your circle becomes not just a group of people, but a strategic fortress around your mind, energy, and future. True power, real sovereignty, isn't about conquest or domination. It's about discernment, knowing who deserves your time and who doesn't. It's about walking away from energy that drains you without guilt. It's about building a life so solid and aligned that no one's manipulation can penetrate. This path demands courage because it means saying no to familiar faces and comfortable patterns. It means standing tall when others want you to shrink. It means choosing peace over approval, clarity over confusion, and strength over sympathy. Let's expand on this courage because it's at the heart of lasting change. Courage here isn't just boldness, it's quiet resilience. It's the calm in the storm that refuses to be swayed by guilt or flattery. It's the wisdom to see beyond appearances and the patience to watch behavior over time. Every person who drains your energy or clouds your judgment doesn't just steal your time, they steal your potential. When you allow subtle sabotage to go unchecked, you give permission for your vision to shrink, your confidence to erode, and your peace to fracture. But you were never built for that. You were built to lead yourself first, to carve your own path even when the crowd whispers doubts, to hold your ground when those closest to you try to rewrite your story. This leadership begins with self-trust, the unwavering belief in your own vision and values. Self-trust is the foundation on which you build your boundaries, your choices, and your peace. When self-trust is strong, the quiet competitor cannot unsettle you. The emotional puppeteer cannot sway you. The praise predator's words bounce off you. The chameleon's mask fades into irrelevance. The perpetual victim's drama loses its grip. The ambition assassin's doubt turns to dust. Building self-trust means turning inward more than outward. It means asking, what do I know to be true about my path? What do I feel is right for me? Rather than looking for validation in others' eyes. This doesn't mean isolating yourself or rejecting support. True support is rare but real. It uplifts, challenges with kindness, and encourages without limits. This is why quality of your circle matters more than quantity. One authentic ally is worth 100 flattering competitors. One consistent friend is worth dozens of chameleons. One mentor who challenges you in love is worth endless emotional puppeteers. Let's talk about how to build this circle intentionally. First, observe over time. Trust is not immediate. People reveal their essence through patterns, not first impressions. When someone consistently respects your boundaries, honors your values, and encourages your growth, even when you falter, that person is rare and worthy. Second, test loyalty with small boundaries. Share a bit of your vision and see how they respond. Notice if they celebrate, sabotage, or disappear. Those reactions speak volumes. Third, guard your peace fiercely. Peace is not passive, it's active protection. Saying no, distancing yourself, or cutting off toxic energy is not cruelty, it's preservation. Finally, nurture your inner clarity. Meditation, journaling, or simply quiet reflection can help you hear your truth above the noise. Here's an important reminder. This process isn't easy. It's not about perfection or quick fixes. It's a lifelong commitment to your sovereignty. You will lose people. Some of them may be people you love or once trusted. But this loss is growth, not failure. It's pruning your life tree so it bears stronger fruit. Every step away from manipulation and sabotage is a step closer to your authentic power. Now imagine the life where your circle only consists of those who elevate you, people who celebrate your wins without envy, respect your boundaries without guilt trips, challenge your growth without control, and stand by your mission without hesitation. This life isn't fantasy, it's possible, but it starts with vigilance and courage. Before we close, let's reflect on one more vital truth. Your peace is your power's soil. If your peace is disturbed, your power can't grow. If your peace is protected, your power will flourish beyond what you imagined. The types of people we discussed don't just take peace, they take potential. But when you build walls around your peace, you build bridges toward your purpose. You've heard the 6 types, you know the patterns and the strategies. Now it's time to act, not out of fear or anger, but from strength and clarity. If you see someone who shrinks you while pretending to cheer, create distance. If someone drains your vision disguised as love, protect your mission. If someone guilts your strength, grow stronger in silence. You are not here to be managed or manipulated. You are here to lead, to create, to become.